My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Spell Rogue. Time to launch in with a Xar.
Let's have it then.
Let's have it then indeed, buddy. We've got the A loadout here unlocked, which is Flame Hunger as the signature spell. That is a countdown of 3, has 2 charges per turn, and it rolls 2 1-2s. Interesting. There's also a countdown 6 on Blaze. Deal 4 damage, but increase by 2 for each dice spent. Interesting, so you want to use 6 1s in that countdown socket, which makes sense with Flame Hunger's ability. And then Brimstone takes a 1 to a 2, has 3 charges, and you gain 1 block for each charge left. Let's launch in. We'll also take the next level of mutation, so a difficulty of 4. We're going to have to combine negatives, downsides, curses, etc. until we have 4 total. I could take a 3 and a 1, I could take a 2 and 2 1s. On turn 2, receive 2 sap. Reduces block gained from spells for a single turn. Negative 30% gold from combat, woof. Reduce non-combat healing by 30%. I think I'm going to take Decrepit, which is the receive 2 sap on turn 2, just straight reduction of block gained from spells, and Irrecoverable. Reduce non-combat healing by 30%. Typically because these, on an average run for me so far, which is to say the last 2 runs, because that's what I had to draw from as my data pool, would not have affected anything. Let's pick up a starter artifact. Also, in this run, if possible, we'll be looking to gain 50 power, apply 50 weak, and gain 20 foresight in order to get many unlocks. On turn 1, the Emberstone rolls 3 1s. That is incredible for the sake of Blaze, rather. It's incredible for the sake of the one that I almost couldn't say. There's also Sunweave Cloak on health loss. Gain 1 Banefire. Banefire deals 1 damage to the front opponent at the end of the turn and then reduces Banefire by 1. And then Hymnbook on enemy death, gain 2 power. I'm gonna take the Emberstone Ring here. I'm not certain I want to go for an early shop. But this elite event at the very end looks pretty spicy to me, so I'm gonna get myself on the right path for that one. Up against a Dreadtreant that is gonna be starting to grow here. Let's start using Flame Hunger for all it's worth. I'll put as many different die into Blaze as I can. And then do it one more time for the kill. Yeah, this Emberstone Ring certainly seems like the right choice. Oh. Okay. Channel Mana. Target spell has -3 on its countdown. That would give me the ability to cast Flame Hunger for free. Gain 1 Radiant could be an upgrade to this. Radiant says when reaching 10 Radiant, you roll 3 dice and add 1 charge to all spells. Oh, I can smell the infinite in the air. Channel Mana also has the ability to lower the target spell cooldown by even more. So that's not lower its cooldown limit, this is just reduce its cooldown. Magma Skin, gain 7 block, gain 5 Pyrohide. Pyrohide just retaliates for X damage, 2 attackers for a single round. And then Focused Weak. Accepts only 1s and applies weak for each charge left. What? There's an upgrade here that makes it destroy a random dice. I guess it does give it additional charges. But, woof. That seems like it's pretty costly. I'm taking Channel Mana here, and I'm gonna feel pretty good about that. Let's pop a 1 into Channel Mana, and then Target Flame Hunger, and then I'm going to do that again. Time for the biggest blaze I can get. This enemy is a Shambler. They are attempting to apply 2 Curse this turn. And if I deal 10 damage this turn, I can stop it from spawning a lesser Shambler, which I will be doing. Since it's not seeking to attack me this turn at all, I'm also just going to deal as much damage as possible. No need to defend. I'm cursed. Next turn, all dice lose 2 value. Buddy, I want low die. You don't understand what you're doing to yourself here. That'll be the Shambler gone. More gold and another spell. Fireball. Deal 6 to all enemies. Increase by 2 for each dice spent. And it has a higher countdown. That seems like it's perfectly synergistic with what I'm doing at the moment. We also have Gathering Flames. 2 1s. You need exactly 2 1s, but it gives you a power. I could also get it to roll a die in return, or have the ability to give us 3 Radiant when it's depleted. I would still need to cast this, what? Yeah, 12 times to actually gain that Radiance? That's not good. I'm taking the Fireball. That was the one that I initially wanted to go for, and it remains so. Probably significantly better than the Blaze. Channel Mana should probably be first in this limit because it's typically the first thing I cast. Yeah. So I'm vaguely ordering them in order of priority I intend to cast. I'm against a Dread Treant as well as a Living Embers here. Living Embers is the only one attacking this turn, so I've got to make sure it's dead. And this Fireball will certainly do that. 12 to all enemies. And in fact, I can blaze for another 8 and take out the remaining Dread Treant. Ooh, we gain a potion. Vampiric Essence. This is an incredible potion because it's often just get full health. Attacks gain 20% lifesteal for a turn, so 20% of the damage dealt from health, and, sorry, as health from spell attacks is healed. Ooh. Okay, we've got even more things with the same theming as our base deck here. We'll start with Charcoal Dagger though. On a 2 to a 5, for 3 charges a turn, you deal X damage and you apply 1 Rupture. Has the ability to upgrade to have more charges, as well as deal more damage, or apply more Rupture. Rupture, will remember, increases the damage received by a target for a single turn. Wild Blaze Orb has 4 as its countdown. Deal 4 damage to a random enemy. Hit once for each dice spent. Ooh. You can even upgrade this to have 4 charges, but it's unrestorable. Or you can just upgrade to the damage. For only 4, this is 24 damage on a single target, and it scales well. In fact, much better than Blaze even does with Strength or Fury. Not Strength, sorry. What's it called? Power or Fury. And then Roaring Embers, which is basically a more powerful version of the Blaze in my base deck. Has 8 as a countdown, has only 1 charge, deals 1 damage, but increases by 4 for each dice spent. I'm taking that Wild Blaze Orb, and I am going to substitute Blaze out for it. Let's pick up our first shard. This is going to be a tough decision. Because I will need to be able to do AoE damage, but I don't know if I need to be able to do more than Fireball is currently capable of. Channel Mana, I'm unlikely to be able to cast that 5 times. Or I'm unlikely to have 5 full turns where I'm able to cast this 2 times each. So I don't know if making it Radiant is really good right now. But lowering the countdown, or rather increasing the countdown reduction, doesn't seem good either. The Wild Blaze Orb, I could totally just give this the additional damage, and I would be very happy with that. I almost want to hold on to this shard because I don't think any of these shard upgrades significantly changes my performance in upcoming events. And that it's better to hold on to the opportunity to use it for something more intentional and better. Yeah, 20 to all enemies. Good fireball. That ends the fight. Take the gold. Flowing mana, reroll all dice. Combustion, 14 countdown. Deal 18 damage. Reduce countdown cost by -2 this combat. Oh, so eventually this will become a 1-cost spell. There's also Inferno. On a 4 to a 6, deal X damage and gain 1 Banefire. Banefire again just deals damage to the front enemy at the end of the turn and then reduces itself by 1, and then burning both ends. A 4 to a 6, it will deal 16 damage, but you also lose 3 health. I'm going to take a reroll here because I don't think any of these is fundamentally useful for me at all. Ah. This is, though, Inner Rage! Countdown 5, gain a critical. Critical says your next attack deals twice as much damage. Could upgrade this to give us a power or to accept a 4 to a 6, an individual die, as well as have another charge. Not super interested in that. I'm pretty interested in Luminance, though. A 6 countdown, only 1 charge, though. Gain 1 Foresight, which is next turn, roll an extra die, and gain 2 Radiant. Again, just because we're still introducing the keywords and mechanics of this game, Radiant says when reaching 10 Radiant, roll 3 die and add 1 charge to all spells. So you could upgrade this as well to give another Radiant as well as power, or to give it another charge. And then finally, and this is the one that really interests me, Fragmentize. Split dice into 1s, accepts a 2 to 3. That synergizes directly with all of the rest of the things that I'm doing at the moment. I can either give it the ability to tolerate up to a 5, or I can give it the ability to give me 2 power as well. I'm taking Fragmentize, and honestly, I'm probably going to give it the Shard. Let's take Brimstone out for a second, because I'm actually just not defending at the moment. That's just not happening. Two power, admittedly, on Fragmentize is pretty sick because it makes Wildblaze Orb pretty ridiculous as well. The only problem is I currently... Think about it, right? When I roll on an average turn, if I roll a 1, I have something to do with that, always. If I roll a 2, okay. If I roll a 3, fine, at least it can go into Fragmentize. If I roll a 4, a 5, or a 6, I can't operate with those. They're wasted, essentially. I wonder if that's a really, really good argument to increase the tolerance of Fragmentize here. As much as I want a tool to gain some power because of the Wildblaze's Orb multiple strikes on a target. I can't do it. I actually can't do it. My soul won't let me do it. I really want that power. That's a scaling. That's an option to give me the ability to actually, you know, overwhelm an enemy with a huge amount of HP. All right, get on out of here, you scamp. Give me 2 extra power. Time to go to an event. Receive Fairy's Curse. On turn 1, we gain 3 weak. But I also get 125 gold. 125 gold. Some of the events give you the option to pay 150 gold to gain a shard, and a shard upgrade is definitely worth that 3 week on turn 1. Or I could just get a Fairy Essence, a potion for 25 block, or I could gain 8 max health instead. I'm going to take that and the additional money. The Carrion Abomination. Oh, that model's sick. All right, it's looking to summon reinforcements this turn. Let's see what we can do about that. Man, I wish Fragmentize could split a 5 right now. Alas, it will split this too, as well as give me some power. Wild Blaze Orb, Wild Blaze Orb, Wild Blaze Orb. Final Wild Blaze Orb! No, I'm doing significantly less damage this turn because of the weak. Hence the weakness of that. Oh, that's no problem. My Fireball will easily take those out. Okay. I do get a 1, so I can start using Claim Hunger again. Yay. Pop that Fragmentize. I'll be taking 10 damage this turn. Alas, I'm rolling literally no defense at the moment. Like, it's not even like I can. I haven't given my deck the ability to generate defense. I totally understand what's happening to me right now, and I deserve it. Hell yeah. We got a Flowing Mana, we pick up another spell. Kairotic Moment. So for 3 unrestorable charges and taking any die, apply 5 weak to all enemies. That is an incredible way to invalidate the damage of an enemy. That is very easily the only defense that I need for a while. I'm taking it. Silver Herberg, reduce health loss by 1 or gain a shard. I'm taking the shard. I'm gaining an additional slot and popping Kairotic Moment in there. I can lose 8 max health or disenchant a spell in order to gain the Gilded Dowsing Rod. I'm going to disenchant Blaze because I've got 2 things that wildly outrank it in Fireball and Wild Blaze Orb. And the Gilded Dowsing Rod, by the by, is when moving on the map, gain 7 gold. So we move, we gain 7 gold. And do I dare disenchant another spell? Brimstone it would be at this point in time. Yep. I'm going to disenchant that for some max HP. Increasing your max HP just increases your tolerances for any mistakes. So it gives you a lot more time to fix mistakes you've made in the deck. Okay, so Mother of Flames is summoning 2 reinforcements this turn. That's fine. I'm going to be taking them all out next turn. So this turn, I'm ideally looking at just getting as much power as possible. I mean, I'll try and do damage, sure, but I don't really expect to do a huge amount. Wild Blaze Orb, even with 4 in its investment, still, because it's hitting multiple times, is multiple times getting downgraded by the value of weak. So I think I do more damage if I just invest in the Fireball consistently here. But I can also set the Wild Blaze Orb. Actually, no. I'm going to set these up to be ready for the next turn. That's the big play. I do no damage this turn, but next turn, I already have these countdown spells with a huge amount of die invested in them. We Fragmentize, giving us the ability to start channeling mana. Big Fireball hit everyone. And then a Wild Blaze Orb for 8. 4 times the front target. And with a Honestly, I think I should probably invest both of these into Chaotic Moment. Prevent the enemy from doing any damage that turn, because I don't think I'm going to be in that fight for much longer. Fragmentizer 3. Gotta love rolling a natural 3 at any point with this deck. Really, really works for us. Fireball across the team, and then it's down to the Wild Blaze Orbs. Get him. Okay, this is a pretty robust deck. We heal back up to full, we gain 41 gold, another shard, and a boss artifact. Roll an extra die per turn. Each turn receive 2 weak. That could start to be a little annoying. Roll 1 extra die a turn, but 6s lose 1 in value. I literally can't use 6s for anything. Aether Weave, roll 2 Ether, and the Ether reduce the countdown cost of a random spell by... I already have Channel Mana, and I don't want to reduce the countdown cost of Wild Blaze or Fireball. I want to reduce those by putting more die in. Crooked die. I can't roll 6s anymore. That's fine by me. Honestly, I still don't know what to do with this next shard, so I will travel yet again. I do want an option to get a shop this floor, and I can get one after 2 elites. That's great. So I'm going to be airing over to the right side here. We're up against a Warlock who intends to do 16 damage to me this turn. Thankfully, we have Chaotic Moment, so I can prevent that. Give him the big old Wild Blaze. Yeah, I don't need to let this enemy do any damage to me. There you go. Take some damage, bud, and deal none back to me. I gain my 2 sap for this turn. The enemy is trying to vex me, though. When using the spell, give -1 value to all die. I love that. That sounds great to me, buddy. No qualms here. Throw a big old Wild Blaze Orb at him for 8 4 times for a total of 32 damage. Another Fireball to take him down to 7, and now, yeah, it's pretty difficult not to just win. I intentionally make a 3 by using the enemy's hexing there, because that's great for me. Thank you, buddy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Finish him off with Wild Blaze Orb, which would have overkilled him by 33. Yeah, the Fragmentized scaling option with that power is really good, even though I do often feel the pain of not being able to split a 5. Volcanic Power, lose 3 health, but gain 1 power for each dice spent, and it has a 3 countdown. Inner Rage we've seen before, and Phoenix Blast. Deal 12 damage. If the target has weak, roll a die. Ooh. I can reduce that to only have 4 as its countdown cost. That said, I don't really like re-rolling things that much. Speaking of not liking re-rolling things, I'm going to re-roll these spells. Convalescence? Hello? Heal 4 health. Unrestorable. That's curious. I could take that and just keep that as an inventory spell and just sub it in for occasional fights when I feel like I need to heal. There's also Meteor for a 12 countdown and 1 charge. Deal 24 damage, but decrease that by 2 for each dice spent. And finally, Charcoal Backdraft. Only accepts a 4, has 2 charges, but deals 2 damage and applies 2 Rupture to all enemies. I'm going to take Convalescence, and I'm only going to sub it in if I need it exactly at the time. Let's go pick up a Ritual. Manifold Gatestone. Enchant 2 dice with Manifold, which gives them ×2 value in countdown effects and X effects. Fine without that. Blood Totem, 33% extra attack damage, and also 33% extra attack damage received. And then finally, Odd Cascade. Roll 3 odd dice. I think that's probably the best one here for us. But I also don't like any of these. I kind of want to reroll just so I can see more options. Add 1 charge to a target spell, I think is going to be a lot better for us. Astral Attunement there. It's also Spell Catalyst when inserted into a spell. Sorry, Enchanted dice with Energized, and that Energized dice when inserted into a spell increases that spell's damage and block by 4. Which, admittedly, that's pretty good for something going into the Wild Blaze. And then Bloodbound Skin, which would, I think, prevent me from needing to defend. I'm taking Astral Attunement, though. Let's go for the random special event, especially in case it might give me the ability to get a shard. It does, at the cost of my Emberstone ring. I don't know if that's worth it. Lose a Vampire Essence, and I can gain Inscribe. Inscribe -2 countdown cost to another spell this combat. I don't want to do that. Oh, this is annoying. I do want to get a shard, but I don't want to give you the Emberstone ring. Rolling 3 1s on turn 1. Well, realistically, rolling 3 1s on turn 1 doesn't actually help me that much. Because I often can't utilize them very effectively on that turn 1. I'm still just ramping up a little bit. I think I lose that for the shard. Still don't know what to do with these shards, but it's a later problem. Head to a Sanctuary. Do I have spells to disenchant? I could disenchant Convalescence. And I do. I think it's probably important to give Chaotic Moment a larger removal of weak, or a larger application of weak, which is removal of damage. I think I do want to be able to cast Wild Blaze every turn, so it having unrestorable charges is not interesting to me. Fireball, increasing its damage per spent, that seems okay, and gaining a Radiant does seem pretty good as well. But I really need to find something else that also gives me some Radiant. Because 1 source of Radiant isn't going to be enough to get the 10 that I need for it to activate its effect. Devil Assassin. Hell yeah, my man. Gains 1 Malediction. Malediction is bonus attack that deals unmodifiable damage. And then doubles the stacks. Woof. Well, at least I rolled something low enough. So I can Fragmentize and start channeling mana. Then we get 3 into the Wild Blaze, setting up for the next turn. And then I invest in a bad Fireball, and then a medium Fireball set up for the next turn. Okay, so the Devil Assassin is doing 1 damage, and then another 13, and then also applying 1 curse. Add a charge to a target spell. I probably want to do that to Fragmentize. Helps me ramp my power a lot. And then I'm looking for a Wild Blaze for 40 damage on you. Hit you with a AoE Fireball as well. And I'm gonna drop 2 Chaotic Moments, I think. Do I drop the third? I think I could take the enemy out next turn. So yes. Unfortunately, I will take 1 damage because of the unmodifiable malediction damage. Oh, you cursed my dice value lower. Unfortunately, I wanted to have gotten to fragmentize a 3. Dang. This'll do well enough, though. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is fine. A fireball for 29 to finish the enemy off before they get to attack me again. Some gold, another spell. Heatstroke, double the weak on the target. Not awful. Extract, deal 12 damage if lethal, heal 4 health. And Cinderswipe, on a 1 to a 2, deal X damage. If the target is attacking, re-roll that die. That's pretty cool. I don't really want any of these. I'm gonna re-roll to see more of the set. Kindle. On a 2 countdown for 1 charge, roll a 3 to a 6. Seldom want to do that, buddy. Suspension, apply 4 weak and gain 4 block. And Superheat, deal 5 damage and increase by 3 for each weak on the target. I'm honestly not in favor of any of those, so I'm just going to take 1 with the intent to give it away. Vengeful Dagger, when attacked by an enemy, gain 2 Fury. I'm going to take the shot. Because Chaotic Moment still needs to increase its weak application. Two Impatchlings and a Desert Spirit. 1 Chaotic Moment is already enough to get me through this. In fact, Fireball is going to be incredible this turn as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that'll kill 1 of the imps. Perfect. Chaotic Moment then removes all of the incoming damage. I'm gonna get another charge of Fragmentize just to make this a little easier on myself. Goodbye, everyone. This fireball said so. Gold, a smoke screen, which is definitely worth taking here, and another spell. Smoke screen, of course, gain 1 dodge, which avoids the next unblocked damage received. Crescendo. It has an 18 countdown socket. It deals 24 damage, and each turn, it lowers its countdown by 2. Crescendo would cast itself every 3rd turn with this upgrade, which turns its countdown reduction each turn into 6. I don't know about that. I'm still going to take the reroll. I'm still looking to just... I want to see more of the set still. Vindictive Strike. 10 countdown, deals 12 damage to the front enemy. On health loss, lowers the countdown of this by 2. Has 2 charges. Ashen Plating, 11 countdown socket, 2 charges. Gain 9 block, and reduce the countdown cost by -1 in this combat. Interesting. So that could eventually get quite low. And then Convalescence again. I'm going to take Convalescence. I'm probably going to get rid of it in a second. Let's go for the Elite Battle next. Because I have literally no other option. But also because I want to. Oh, hello. We've got the Crone of Death, the Crone of Birth, and the Crone of Growth. The Crone of Death is dealing 8 damage. The Crone of Birth is trying to deal 6 and will heal for any unblocked damage dealt. And the Crone of Growth is giving 3 power to all enemies. They also have Crone's Eye, which enhances the Crone's next action considerably. Is thrown to another Crone afterwards, or if the Crone carrying it dies. Got it. Alright, let's see what we can do down here. First summon a Fragmentize. A single chaotic moment already makes this entirely moot. Okay, I can give 26 damage to all of them this turn. That seems more than enough. Chaotic moment to prevent them from dealing any damage this turn. And then next turn, I'm just gonna do another fireball like that, baby. Take them all out at the same time. I don't have to worry about the Crone's Eye getting passed around if they're all dead. Let's give Fragmentize a second charge so that I can gain some extra power by splitting up all of those ones. Perfect. Hey, buddy. You survived your friends? By a millisecond. Take him out with Wild Blaze Orb. Some gold, another spell. Demean. Apply 7 weak to the front opponent, but wound the next dice rolled. 7 countdown and 1 charge on that. 7 countdown and 2 charges on Incendiary, which applies Incendiary, which deals 25 damage in 3 turns' time. And then finally Phoenix Blast. For 8 countdown, 1 charge, you deal 12 damage, and if weak on the target, you roll a die. I'm gonna re-roll again. Zeal of the Sun. For 5 on countdown and 1 charge, destroy all dice. Gain 4 block for each dice destroyed. And Kindle and Hurt, which we've seen before as well. I'm going to take the Zeal of the Sun. I'm probably not going to use it, though. Stupefying Stone, apply 5 weak to all enemies on turn 1. I'm already capable of doing that myself, thank you. So I do want an additional slot. I just don't really think I need it that bad. So again, I'll hold off, just in case I find something I want to upgrade from this shop. Conflagration. Deal 2 damage 2 times. All spells get +1 to their countdown. So the idea here being that we can increase the countdown cost of spells that we want to invest more dice into. I just don't get enough dice to make that very worthwhile. Artifacts here, turn 1, gain 5 Banefire. Yeah. Red Dawn on a 4 rolled, -2 countdown to a random spell. I actually don't want that. And then Ghost Charm, gain 1 dodge on turn 1. I will gain 1 dodge on turn 1. I'm fine with gaining 5 Banefire. I don't think that's relevant to me, to be entirely honest. Luminance has the ability to upgrade to give us Radiant as well as Power. Unfortunately, because I can't roll a 6, it does feel a lot worse. But I do want that Radiant. I'm going to take Luminance. I'm going to sell spells and sell all of the other ones that I don't intend to use. Superheat, Convalescence, Seal of the Sun. There's a potion here, the Phoenix Pearls, which rolls 4 1s. That could certainly be useful at some point. I just don't think I need it. Okay. I'm gonna gain another slot so I can put Luminance on the board. And I'm actually going to place it just after Channel Mana, because Channel Mana should probably be used now to cast Luminance. That's 2 1s And it'll give me 2 Radiant, as well as another 2 Radiant when Luminance goes off. That gives me the ability to launder my larger die through Flame Hunger. So if I ever roll like a 4 or a 5, or a 6, which gets downgraded into a 5, I can just throw it into Flame Hunger. Because 3s want to go into Fragmentize. 1s want to go into Channel Mana. And then eventually we'll have enough 1s to hopefully invest in these others. I still feel like I need some more help generating 1s at this point for the end game that I'm aiming for. I didn't leave myself a spell to disenchant here. Well, I'll heal 1 health. Time for a boss battle. Against the Shadowfire twins. They have a Brilliant state. Focuses on dealing damage while it's in this state. If it takes 25 damage, it flips to darkness and switches its action. And the other one has the opposition. Takes 25 damage and flips to brilliance, which switches its action. So darkness focuses on applying debuffs, and brilliance focuses on dealing damage. Okay, let's fragmentize this 3. Those 5s are both going into Flame Hunger. We'll channel mana into Luminance twice, giving me 4 Radiant as well as 1 Foresight, so I'm going to roll an extra die next turn. I am dodging right now, so I wonder if I do want to use Chaotic Moment, despite the fact that the enemies aren't doing a huge amount of damage this turn, but it will defend my dodge, just in case they have a large instance of damage later. Yeah. That seems pretty reasonable to me, I think. Banefire does 5 damage to the front enemy and then decreases to 4. Next turn it'll do 4 to him. +1 charge to target spell. I mean, I want to put that on Fragmentize, but I can't. Incoming damage this turn is 10. So yeah, I'll probably dodge that. Mana into Luminance twice. I could get Radiance to pop off this turn if I charge it. I don't think I need it to do that though. That said, I probably should charge an additional spell this turn for something. Which would be Fragmentize if I was only going to charge a spell this turn, so I could split it 2 and gain some more power. Actually, I'm going to do that. Fireball does 27 damage to each of these enemies, so they're going to actually trade their attacks. Hey, and now the Shadowfire Twin is only trying to do 8 damage. So if I leave them this way, another Chaotic will protect my dodge stack. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. So 3 of mine have had Snare added onto them, so if I cast them at all this turn, I am going to be invoking plus 50% damage received. I'm going to be doing that. For what it's worth, that is absolutely going to happen. I'm going to Fragmentize this 3 immediately. Enjoy. As long as I use Chaotic Moment, I will actually invalidate the damage they're trying to do this turn as well anyway. Mana on Luminance twice. There we go. Boom. Everything's back. That gave me 3 more dice and also +1 charge to everything. Honestly, I'm just going to incur as much marked as I want. I don't care. Alright, we're back up to 5 Luminance for the next round. Woohoo. Now it's time to start throwing some fireballs at people. There we go. That seems nice. Then let's throw a wildfire orb out as well. 14 damage, and it does that 3 times. Sorry, 4 times. And now I can get it to do that only twice. And investing in Chaotic Moment right now doesn't actually help us. It won't prevent any incoming damage this turn, so I might as well start getting our Fireball. We'll dodge this 15. With the ability to give an additional charge to a basic spell, this turn I now have the ability to go Radiant again. Channel Mana on Luminance. Twice, and then once on Flame Hunger, giving us Radiance. Everything gets an additional charge. I roll 3 more die. And then I roll another 2 because I was resolving Flame Hunger at the time. Split another Fragmentize. We've now got 14 power. And then I'll Channel Mana to get even another Flame Hunger going off because I think this is our final turn. Fireball, 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 and Fireball! Then I have to invest in Wild Blaze, but this is going to be 18 to a random enemy 3 times. There aren't 3 instances of 18 health available for these enemies at the moment they die. Combat rewards give me health, gold, another shard, and a boss artifact. Roll an additional dice per turn. On enemy death, lose 1 health. Hex robes. Roll an additional dice per turn. Each turn, enchant a random die with Vex. The ability to lower the value of all of the other die. I do typically want my die to have lower values, though. Exuberant 1. Roll a die after casting 12 spells. I don't cast 12 spells in a single turn, do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. I'm gonna take Hex Robes. That's gonna give me the ability to actively lower a 4 that I roll into a 3, making it easier to hit Fragmentize, as well as lower the dice in general so that I can make much more effective Wild Blaze Orbs and Fireballs. Now, Luminance, I do want Luminance to give me 3 Radiant and 1 Power, because with 3 Radiant, I cast 2 Channel Mana a turn and 1 Luminance. That's 2 Radiant from Channel Mana, 3 Radiant from Luminance. So on my second turn, if I just cast those consistently, I will get my first trigger of Radiance. I might even want to hit 2 shops this run, but there's only one way to get a shop and an elite, so that's actually kind of gonna get me to go down that line. These enemies have Frenzy. Whenever I cast a spell, they gain 1 Fury. This is exactly the kind of hand I was talking about. If I invest a 1 into Channel Mana here, and then lower the cost of Luminance, I can decrease a 4 that I had into a 3, so I can use it in Fragmentize now. can cast Chaotic Moment, but unfortunately I also give Fury to the units on field. So they're still going to try and deal me damage. I'm going to take 1 damage by the end of this fight. This turn, rather. I think I'm fine with that. Allows me to invest very heavily into that Fireball. Oh, good lord. Yeah, this is the kind of turn you want. I got 2 perfect targets on my Fragmentize. So let's give an additional charge to that. Fragmentize a 3, Fragmentize another 3, and then these ones are used in Channel Mana and Luminance twice, and then that will give me 10 stacks of Radiant, so I trigger Radiance and get another 3 to throw into a Fragmentize. Woohoo! Oh, baby. This is what we wanted. Okay, 5 Luminance. And then for all of the Flame Hungers as well. I'm going to use my Vex die so that I can lower the 2s in my hand into 1s to make them more effective for things like Fireball and Wildblaze Orb. Okay, our first Fireball is going to do 44 damage to all targets on field. That will kill the front 3. And then our Wildblaze Orb is going to do 60 damage in 4 instances of 15. Which will take out the tanky guy in the back. Combat reward time. Some more gold. Phoenix Pearls, the one that I mentioned previously. Better than Flowing Mana. Rolls 4 1s for us. Time for a spell. Chaos Bolt, Cinder Swipe, and Charcoal Dagger. We've seen all of these before. Maybe not Chaos Bolts. On a 6 cooldown for 2 charges, it deals 2 damage to a random enemy 3 times. I'm going to reroll though. Glowing Visage. Gain 2 block, increased by 2 for each dice spent. It's a 6 countdown, it's got 2 charges. There's also another Convalescence and Magma Skin. I'm going to take another Convalescence and I'm going to get rid of it again. What makes you think I'd need that? Target attack spell gains +5 damage this combat. I think that's not an especially good way of ramping the effect of Wildblaze when I'm already gaining power from Fragmentize and Luminance. Red Candle, -7 to the countdown of a target spell. Which realistically just gives me the ability to cast Luminance for free on turn 2. Which is fine. That does save me some die, but like, my 5s and 6s still do find themselves, 5s and 6s, my 5s and 4s find themselves better laundered through the Flame Hunger, which does mean Channel Mana has a much better time targeting Luminance. I don't think I want any of these. Gain 1 Vitality. On health loss, heal 1 health, but you also roll a wound die. Bloodbound Skin. Attacks again 30% lifesteal for 1 turn, or Blood Totem. I'm going to take Bloodbound Skin, and I'm never going to defend again. On turn 3, I will simply gain all of my health back. Give him the fragments. Perfect. And then I'll throw the 5 into Flame Hunger as well. They all intend to do 5 damage this turn. It's possible I kill them next turn, so I should make at least some attempt to defend something this turn. And this final 3 is not useful. Throw it into the Wildblaze Orb, I guess. So they all power themselves up, do 0 damage, and then the Pylon of Might in the backline applies Spell Mirror. Spell Mirror only redirects the first targeted spell back to me. I don't target. That's not what I do. I'm fine without that, actually. Thank you. Fragmentize into Channel Mana Luminance, and it's time to get our Radiance going off on this turn. Perfect. And then I can use the 4 and a Flame Hunger to get another 4 to be a 3 for the sake of another Fragmentize. Woohoo! I'm gonna gain another charge of Luminance for 3 more Radiant and 1 more Power. Then drop a Fireball for 40 damage to everyone. A Wild Blaze for 14 damage to 2 targets randomly, and then another Wild Blaze for 14 damage to 4 targets randomly. Again, randomly is not targeted, so I don't have to worry about any response here. I don't do any targeting of the enemies. That's not, it's not my bag. Let's gain our 1 health back through the Bloodbound Skin here. Wild Blaze for the kill. Gold spell, burning both ends we've seen before, hurt we've seen before in Cinder Swipe, reroll. Phoenix Blast, Demean, and Inner Rage. I guess I'll take Inner Rage, but I still don't think I need any of those. Time for a shop. This is where I'm probably going to buy every artifact. Up to 2 random dice persist between rounds. Burn Scar. Add 1 charge and apply an Ignite to a target spell. I do like having additional charges. Crystal Snort, gain 3 power on a potion. Flamebrand, after casting 12 spells, gain 1 critical. That's actually sick as hell for me. Each turn, apply Portent to a random spell. That's not commonly going to help me, but it will occasionally help me, and I should take it rather than not take it. Wait, I skipped? Yeah, I guess I skipped that. I was going to sell some spells, possibly, but that's okay. Pylon of Enfeeblement has a weakness aura, as applying 2 weak to us every turn. Yeah, I'm not going to cast Luminance first. Fragmentize or Channel Mana are very likely to be cast first. Other than that, it's fine. Try and generate as many ones as I can. Fail ridiculously. That's okay, I'll put a 4 in a Chaotic Moment, and that's already enough to protect me against all incoming damage. Because the 4 from the Abyss Walker is already going to be negated by my dodge. Although... I'm actually going to throw another in Chaotic Moment and start setting up the Fireball to be larger on next turn. Whilst keeping my dodge. I can actually cast Portent this turn through Flamehunger. Whee! Anytime I roll a 5 this turn, I am receiving Rupture as well. Okay. Let's fireball everyone, as well as generate some 3s. I'm gonna need those, because I need to fragmentize. It's time to channel some mana as well, which is gonna be my Luminance going off this turn, giving me the ability to fragmentize yet again. I intend to kill them all this turn, which is why I'm not worrying about anything. Hmm. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could use 8 die to cast Fireball. Using 8 die would give 24 extra damage to it. 24 extra damage on top of 28 is lethal. How did I miscount that so badly? I'm getting way more damage than that. Critical! I'm doing double damage on my next attack because I've cast 12 spells, of course. Of course. Meteor. Meteor and Volcanic Power we've both seen before, but Nourish Flames is new. On a 3 to a 6, it's only one slot. One charge, rather. On a 3 to a 6, give +2 countdown to a target spell, and roll 2 1 to 6, 1 to 3, 1 to 2s, sorry. And it has the ability to even increase the amount of those that it rolls. That would be really good for extra damage from the Wild Blaze Orb. Do I feel like I have the ability to make space for it? You know what? Not right now, but it makes no sense in this Arcanax boss fight when Arcanax doesn't summon minions for me to keep Fireball on play. I should get rid of Fireball right before that. In fact, there is a Sanctuary where I can sacrifice Fireball and in doing so, gain the shard back from it and then invest that in Nourish Flames instead for the sake of the final fight. I think that's a premium idea. Choose and gain a spell. What do I think would work really well with this? Honestly, I think the things that would work really well are probably still within fire. Gain X block and 1 radiant. Incendiary. I'm gonna reroll just to see more stuff again. We don't see anything new. Demine, Zeal of the Sun, and Inferno. I'll take Zeal of the Sun again. I only have to gain 5 more Foresight until I've completed all 3 of the quests that I have. Mana Devourer, leftover dice will be fed to the Devourer, each reducing stacks by X. Wild Blaze Orb is never going to be the first thing I cast, so. I'm probably just going to let my dodge avoid this first attack from the enemy. And I'm just going to try and set up for a really good Wild Blaze Orb next turn. Yeah, I'll Fragmentize first. Unfortunately, it's only a 2, but that gives me an additional power. Love it. Looking for Channel Mana on Radiance, Channel Mana on Radiance, and then we're off to the absolute races. as we pop another Radiant Charge here. There's another big Fragmentize for us. Channel Mana into more Luminance yet again. Heck, I'll even Fragmentize one more time. Why not? Even more power. I got a second charge of critical right now. Alright. Wildblaze Orb. Hit him for 32. 4 times. Oh, also Wildblaze Orb. Just do that again, please. XOXOTY. Gold Iron Skin and another spell. Focused Heat. Apply 1 week for each charge left. No. Inferno. Reroll. Charcoal Backdraft. Chaos Bolts and Super Heat. Again, we've seen all of these. I'm not going to belabor those, especially because they're especially not relevant to this run right now. One more Elite battle. Then it's time for the boss. This Elite is the Orb of Infinity, so after I start summoning Unstables next turn, I've got to be ready to knock them all down with a Fireball. Wow, Channel Mana. It is what I want to cast first. Unfortunately, I can't. I have to Fragmentize first. Dang. Oh, that made a bunch of Vexes. That's cool. One Chaotic Moment prevents the enemy from doing any damage this turn. Yeah, 8 seems to be a very important number for a lot of the enemies, which is why upgrading Chaotic Moment to apply 8 weak for a single instance felt very, very appropriate early on. Yeah, the fact is that I intend to cast all of my spells next turn, which means I'm going to be summoning 3 unstables. Sorry, 3 instabilities. So I should start getting Fireball ready to knock them down. I don't need to cast Luminance first. I also don't need to cast Chaotic Moment this turn, so woo, get to avoid that. Channel Mana on Luminance, and here comes all of the rest of the effect, including another 3 that I get to Fragmentize. Woohoo! Five and a 2 to get another Luminance off. Flamehunger gets us some rerolls, and now Fireball's turn to knock all the other units off the field. Perfect. And then I get to do some Wildblaze Orbs. I'm actually give another charge to Fragmentize and split it 2 so that I can get another full 4 into the Wildblaze, which should be enough to take the enemy out. Dealing 59 damage in 3 instances of 15 and 1 instance of 14. Sap Life Force, that seems new. Deal 6 damage. It's an 8 countdown and has 2 unrestorable charges. Deal 6 damage. Gain health equal to the unblocked damage dealt, unrestorable. Yeah, very useful. Not for me, though. Cinder Swipe. Furnace. Other spells. -1 countdown for each dice spent. I could see Furnace being really sick, but not when my other countdown spells want desperately to have their countdown reduced by dice being spent directly in them. I'll take it, though, just because I can. And then I'm going to drop Inner Rage. Golden Bracelet, gain 150 gold right before I can't use any gold anymore, or am I going to gain a shard? I think I'll go for the shard. Speaking of the shard, let's go to the Sanctuary. Time to disenchant a spell, and we're disenchanting Fireball. In disenchanting this, I'm going to get to reclaim a shard as well. Because it doesn't make sense for me to do damage with Fireball when Wild Blaze Orb is also going to exist in that fight. And Nourish Flames can now be taken in. I want Nourish Flames probably to roll more. And then I want Wild Blaze Orb, I guess, just to do a little bit more damage. That's not really actually impactful, though. So the pattern is this. We fragmentize in order to create ones, as well as generate some power. We use those ones to channel mana into Luminance, thereby gaining more power, more foresight, and radiance. After we've done that, we spend any of our remaining 4s or 5s in Flame Hunger to generate more 1s and 2s, and also in Nourish Flames for the same reason. Nourish Flames increases the countdown of Wild Blaze Orb, giving it the ability to hit more times and invest more die into. And when we Radiance every second turn, we get the Wild Blaze Orb another charge, so I can cast it 2 times on that turn. And Chaotic Moment if I desperately need it. Our potions are just there to help us along as well. Let's go, Arcanax. Enemy intends to do 22 damage, as well as debuff a spell with Broken and gain 1 power. That's fine by me. I can happily cast Nourish Flames as my first spell. And I will nourish the Wild Blaze Orb. I'm gonna fragmentize this 3. Perfect. Pop 2 4s into Flame Hunger. And then intentionally spend more hexed die here in order to get everything to be its lowest number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to decide now whether or not I spend all 3 on Chaotic Moment. I don't think so. And I'll gain another Smoke Screen, but I don't need to do that right now. Alright, I end my turn. Oh, and I get to retain 2 die because the Talisman of Suspension. I did forget about that. Very useful. Oh wow, Channel Mana is up first. Hell yeah, love that. We're gonna Channel Mana on Illuminance. I don't want to Nourish Flames. Getting Wild Blaze higher, cool. I need to break open Fragmentize and start using it. I'm gonna sack a 1 here, and I'm gonna give it additional charge. The Fragmentize once, twice, and then after Channel Mana and Luminance, I will have another charge for it. Just doing all of this first, because at the very end of all of this, I'm going to use my 3 Vexed die in the Fragmentize. Actually, no, I shouldn't do that, because I've got Nourished Flames available as well. So I want to use a 2 in Fragmentize, and then use this 3 in Nourished Flames. Look at all these 1s, baby! 2, 3, 4, and Wild Blaze Orb for 38 damage to a random enemy for each dice spent in it, and there will be a total of 10. We could have gone way further. I'm gonna spend the Vex die, and then another one. Start investing in the next Wild Blaze, and just be ready. Whole bunch of die, I didn't even have anything I could do with that turn. I don't need to cast Chaotic Moment first. I'm gonna Fragmentize. 5 in Nourish Flame to increase the Wild Blaze again. Channel Mana into Luminance, Channel Mana into Luminance. Launder the higher die through Flame Hunger, and it's time for a Wild Blaze. 44 by 6. That'll do. And it even gives me a critical for the next charge. I'm going to gain a Smoke Screen defense. And then I will cast Chaotic Moment, actually. Do you sincerely think you're getting through this turn, friend? Fragmentize has Portent on it, so I can gain an additional power by casting it first. So we do so. Channel Mana is already going to start giving me a ridiculous dividend here, including the ability to Fragmentize yet again. We'll Nourish Flames twice, generating even more low die, and increasing the cost of that Wild Blaze Orb. Radiant. I can actually cast Luminance again. Boom. Go Radiant yet again this turn. Even more charges. Woohoo! Push Flames yet again on the Wild Blaze Orb. Two and one. 2 and 1, and a 2 and a 1, all in Flame Hunger. Final is Luminance. Everything is reduced to a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Wild Blaze Orb deals 66 damage to a random enemy. Hit 1 time for each dice spent. Do that 10 times, please. In fact, I'm going to gain 20% more lifesteal. Ah, you can't stack lifesteal with itself for more of an effect. It stacks with a longer duration of the effect. Hell yeah. That's Mutation Stage 2 cleared, as well as our first run with Azar. We also managed to complete the Apply 50 Weak, gain 50 Power, and gain 20 Foresight. We also won a game using Fire A, and we reached level 2. Unlocking Mutation Stage 3, as well as the Wave Shift loadout for Lapis. Signature spell is Wave Shift, takes any die, has 3 charges. On an odd, it rerolls into a higher die. On an even, it rerolls into a lower die. There's also Chilling Touch. On a 1 to a 3, it does 2x damage. And then Ablution. On a 4 to a 6, you gain 4 block. We've also unlocked the Tome of Rituals. New spells can be unlocked in the Tome of Rituals. And a new loadout for Azar, which is Mana Purification as the signature spell. Takes a 1 to a 4, has 2 charges, and it returns dice with double value. So if you put a 4 into this, it's got to return a 6 and a 2 because it doesn't cap it. We know that if it intended not to do that, it would say so. Dawn Dome. Countdown of 6, you can cast it twice a turn, gain 5 block, and Blinding Brilliance. Countdown of 5, you can cast it 3 times a turn, deal 5 damage, and apply a weak. There's also a new spell in each of our different tomes. That's for the things that we completed. Flame Surge is our first unlock here. That was... Ooh. Okay. This is for Azar. It takes 2 2s specifically. It has 2 charges. You gain a Surge, which says, apply 1 weak to all enemies when gaining block for 1 turn. And then you gain 2 block for each charge left. That seems pretty cool, but it also requires a lot of 2s. Spirit Arrows is being unlocked. This is for Hazel. Mental Reservoir, we'll go back to that in a sec. Spirit Arrows. On a 1 to a 4, deal 1 damage to a random enemy X times. Cool. Really, really scales with Fury and Power and things of that ilk. Tome of Cubomancy. On an 18 cooldown, this is a spell for Lapis. Mental Reservoir. With 1 charge, roll 5 dice. You can certainly see that getting nutty. And then the Tome of Rituals is just asking me, use 15 potions and we'll unlock a new ritual for you. So let's do that! Of course, we'll have to do something like that in the next episode. Until then, though, my name's Rhapsody, the name of the game. Well, it's been Spell Rogue. Top Lets is a series playlist for all the content of the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past other names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Nick Starfield. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you all next time.